Album covers. They're pretty important. Being people's first introduction to an album, and also what they usually associate the music with, messing it up can be pretty bad. Yeah, I don't really know how to start this intro, so we're just gonna talk about album covers I like and dislike. Also, most of this will be rap music, because that's pretty much all I listen to, but we'll also touch on other stuff too. Also, I'm sick, so if I sound like shit, just ignore that. We'll start off with one of the most popular artists right now, Drake. Bro, what the fuck is this? Drake's known for many things. Having ghostwriters, touching kids on stage, and worst of all, having an extensive history of shitty album covers.
That shit is fucking trash, dog.
Everybody likes to bring up Certified Lover Boy when talking about Drake's shitty album covers, which is valid, but if you're reading this, It's Too Late is by far his worst. It's not like I'm a Drake hater or anything like that, but like, bro, I can make this shit in 5 minutes, and I'm not done with him yet. Her Lost. What the fuck is this? Look at this girl, and then look at this cover. You're lying if you tell me this is the same girl. For All the Dogs album cover was actually drawn by his 6-year-old son, and it definitely shows. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is not a fucking dog. This is the type of shit you hang on the fridge for a week, not make the cover of one of your best albums. As far as his best cover, I think that would go to Honestly Nevermind. The writing, while completely illegible, looks pretty cool, and the colors are nice as well. The background is also pure black, which really allows you to appreciate the clusterfuck that's going on with the text in the middle. While we're here, let's talk about Kendrick Lamar. Probably one of the most overrated rappers, and his album covers are no different. They do their job, but don't do much for me. His best work is probably To Pimp a Butterfly. The layout and composition of all the different parts of the album cover are nice, and you can definitely tell it's trying to convey a message. Untitled Unmastered, on the other hand, this is pretty much just piss-colored Donda. And I know some Kendrick meat writer will tell me that this is actually secretly trying to tell me something I'm too stupid to understand, and this is actually a really good album cover, but personally, I'm not seeing it. Wow, this guy loves to complain. Is there any covers he actually likes? Surprisingly, yes, if you exclude Donda. Kanye West has actually pretty good album covers. Of course, there's the Graduation series, the iconic bear that ties them all together. The best out of these three, though, is by far Graduation. All the nice colors and different characters in the background give it so much personality compared to its other covers. Another cover I'm really into is Yeezus. This cover goes hand in hand with its music. The bright white background and the bright red tape works really well with the in-your-face nature of this album. Also, because I can't go 1 minute without a shitty take, the Vultures covers are really not that bad. I don't know how to describe it, but they kind of look like how the music sounds. Call me down bad, but I don't think they belong in the same category as Certified Lover Boy or Donda. Lil Uzi Vert has also had a good run with album covers. His cartoony covers were good and fit well with his more emo SoundCloud rapper aesthetic, but they really started getting good when he started doing his live-action album covers. I really have no complaints when it comes to his newer covers. Also, just like Vultures 1 and 2, I'm actually a really big fan of the Eternal Take 2 cover. The pink with the small hints of yellow is really nice. Not to mention there's some baddies on this cover. Like, I wouldn't really mind if they abducted me as well, but that's besides the point. Also, when this album cover came out, he changed all of his other album covers to feature this, like, keyhole thing, which is some part of the Eternal Take lore I'm probably too stupid to understand, but I've never seen this type of promotion done before, so it was really cool to see. Good thing he changed it all back, though. Like, it would be really stupid if he just kept it like that. June 7th. 2024. Popular pop artist Charli XCX dropped her most recent album, Brad. Now, I don't have a problem with this album cover. This album is actually how I got into her music, and I remember disliking it at first, but it's definitely grown on me. Yes, I could also probably make this one in 5 minutes, but the black text over the green background is simple yet eye-catching. The cover art feels out there, just like the music on the album. My issue with this album rollout was, along with Uzi, she also changed all of her other album art to fit the style of the Brad album. But unlike Uzi, she never changed it back. Remember how I was saying how good this album art was because it stood out? Well, it's a little harder to stand out when every other album cover in your discography looks almost exactly the same. While we're on the topic of pop music, let's talk about The Weeknd. I'm not sure if The Weeknd is pop music, so Weeknd fans, please don't kill me. I don't really even listen to him, except for the songs with Cardi on it. I don't like The Weeknd's album covers, though. They do the job, but you can only look at The Weeknd's face so many times without it getting old. In my opinion, variety is also really important in album covers, and helps make each album unique from one another. Or you can choose to make them similar if you're making a series, like the Graduation trilogy or Vultures 1 and 2. Sabrina Carpenter, on the other hand, I could get used to this. Her covers, especially her older ones, are nothing to write home about, but she's always looking majestic, so I guess I'll let her slide. Taylor Swift, on the other hand, isn't as majestic, so her album covers are pretty mid as well. Also, if your album cover is basically porn, then it's going to be bad. Some album covers that are infamous for this are Party Next Door 4 by Party Next Door, SOS by SZA, and Vultures 1 by Kanye West. Like, I don't want to go to change my music in class just to jump scare everybody sitting behind me with Bianca West's ass crack. Like, why is this even a thing for album covers? Because unless it's Sabrina Carpenter, I'm really not trying to see it. Anyways, rant over. Now let's speedrun some album covers I do like. Heaven and Hell by Don Toliver is an amazing album cover. The colors contrast well with the pure black shadows, and I love whatever art style this is. I also like how the text is worked into the art instead of just random randomly put somewhere. While we're on the topic of Don Toliver, Heartstone Psycho has an amazing album cover. I really don't know how to describe it, but the symbols and whole aesthetic of this picture is hard as hell. A Great Chaos by Ken Carson also has an amazing cover. The black and gray contrasts so well with the subtle bits of rainbow all throughout. Also, the low quality of the image adds so much personality. It makes it feel almost more menacing in a way. Like, it definitely wouldn't feel the same if it was just a clear picture. This is by far Ken's best cover yet, and also one of my all-time favorites. While we're on the topic of Opium, Playboi Carti has also had a really good track record with album covers. His newest album, I Am Music, features this weird font that's kind of become iconic amongst rap fans. I'll scroll on Instagram and see this in edits and memes, and it all came from this one album cover. Although all of his covers have been pretty good, I think the cover for Dial It is by far his best. Just like Don Toliver's Heartstone Psycho, it's really just a hard-ass photo. Playboi Carti backflipping was edited in, but it seems like somebody just happened to be there and took a photo at the perfect moment, and this is how it turned out. Usually I don't like black and white covers. I mean, I literally spent a whole part of the video earlier shitting on Kendrick Lamar, but this photo's so good that I'll let it slide. TV Girl always cooks with their album art. They all kind of got the same vibe with the bright colors, while being different enough from each other so they don't get boring. Like What Happens with The Weeknd. They do got some freaky ass covers too, but at least he has a cool style and isn't just like, hey guys, look at my wife's ass, isn't it cool? Just like Carti, Yeet also has a good track record of pretty solid covers, but my favorite from him would have to be 4L. Not sure why really. I'm not like fucking Anthony Fantano. It's just a cool looking cover. If I had to say anything, the text in the corner is wacky but cool, and the album cover just feels expensive. I don't know how to describe it or if I'm making any sense, but yeah. In conclusion, while album covers don't make or break an album, I still think it's important to get them right. Nothing gets music fans more horny than a good album cover. And when artists take the time to make sure their album cover is good, it does a lot for the album experience. But at the end of the day, some are good and some are SOS by SZA, and we can't do anything about it. As you can tell, I don't know how to end videos. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, I guess. Moonwalker 43!
Keep sucking that dick like she wants something. Turn her on like she got a hoe button. Why she fucking me back like a whore or something? Hit my phone and they talking about a war or something.